Oh, hello there. Welcome back to Crafters TV. It is Saturday. Well, it's Saturday afternoon here in the UK, which means it's time, of course, for the Craft House. Fast becoming one of your favourite shows where we bring loads of crafty friends into the studio with us here at Crafters TV. We have got a fabulous lineup of products on this show for you today. Definitely get yourself over to the website, get yourself shopped ahead and have a look at all the wonderful things over on our website, craftscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. Now, talking of having friends in the studio, I'm joined by one in the studio here in real life. Is Debbie. How are you, Debbie?
I'm good, Joe. It's been a brilliant day. We've had so much fun on Crafters TV, and now for Craft House. I love it. So we're going to be having a really good look through embossing folders today. Just different designs. We've got a mixture, really, something that's really going to get your creative juices flowing. So we're going to start off. We've got a bundle on the show with Sarah's signature, different types of embossing folder. Oh, I knew I'd do that. There we go. Right way. But look at this beautiful rose embossing folder in the background, so we're going to be taking a look at that. But if you want something more with a more floral sort of garden adventure to it, you're going to be able to do beautiful designs like this. Maybe add in some an embossing folder like this in the background, maybe using some different lace type embossing that we've got. I mean, this looks absolutely beautiful. And then what about cut and emboss folders? They look incredible. And embossing folders do all the hard work for you, so you're just going to love them.
It's going to be a really fun craft house. There's absolutely loads coming up in the show. Loads of people saying hello already over on Facebook and YouTube. I see Teresa's in from Vegas, Claire's in from Weston-super-Mare, Eleanor, Janine, Deborah's here in from Texas, Beatrice in New Jersey, and Jennifer from Kansas as well. Loads of you chatting away and saying hello. As always, as we go through the show, any questions that you've got whatsoever, you can get them into me both on Facebook. So if you want to join the conversation on Facebook, it's Crafters TV where you need to be. That's the Facebook feed that we're monitoring, or you can drop them into the comments over on YouTube as well. And if you want to send us any photos, we do love sharing pictures of all of the wonderful crafty makes that you have been enjoying at home. You can do that by emailing us, studio@craftscompanion.co.uk. Details are there along the bottom of the screen. Now, it wouldn't be a craft house, would it, if we didn't have a very special guest joining us via the wonders of the internet. And this week's special guest in the Craft House, I'm really pleased to say, is Alison. Alison, are you there and how are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much. And you?
Yeah, I'm really, really good. Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you with us in the studio today. Where are you joining us from?
Near Coventry.
Ah, okay. Not too far away then. Now, how long have you been crafting for?
Too long to remember.
Can you,
Yes.
well, in that vein, can you remember how you got started with crafting?
I think it was just something that I picked up when I was at school and just carried it on through them, really.
Oh, awesome. Well, it's lovely to have you with us today. We are going to be dropping into you multiple times as we go through this show. So stay poised. I'll try and give you some warning before I won't just cut back to you, don't worry. But yeah, we'll be joining you many times as we go through the show. So it's lovely to have Alison with us here in the studio as well. Should we dive in and see what's coming up in this show? Because we've got lots of really wonderful deals for you coming up. We've got loads of different embossing folders for you. Smaller ones, larger ones, and some cut and emboss folders as well. Now, this is a 6-piece everyday cut and emboss classic folders. You've got love, home, friends, I should say. You've also got congrats, birthday, and thanks. Super versatile, really usable sentiments. They cut and emboss at the same time, and you've got a fabulous saving on those as well. Debbie has got loads of ideas she wants to share with you on these as we go through the show. Next up, we've got some mini embossing folders. Now, these have been super busy before the show. Lots of you grabbing these. These are fantastic for those smaller projects when you want to just add a sentiment or a border or a little bit of a texture along the bottom of your project. £7.96 or $11.80 gets you all 6 of those, which is an awesome price. We've also got some Sarah's signature embossing folders for you. 5 pieces in this collection, 2 gorgeous ones from the Rose Gold collection, 1 from the Vintage Lace, and also 2 from the Crafty Fun collection as well. A really brilliant saving there, almost £12 you're saving in the UK, saving almost $14 if you're in the US, $17.97 or $23.93 if you want to grab those. Now, we do love a bit of sparkle, it is fair to say, and we have got some gorgeous sparkle pens on the show for you, and we've got an awesome deal as well. We've got a 3 for 2 on these, so you're going to get the autumn winter, the coastal cottage and the spring summer as well. You pay for 2, we send you 3. It's going to be an awesome, they are all awesome and a fantastic deal. We've also got for you some of the aqua tints. Now, they are on a bugger hop, as we call it, which is a buy one, get one half price for those of you that don't know. There's loads of individual options here for you with these. What I'd say is check the website for things like afternoon tea, metallics, summertime, loads of your favourites available there in those. So do go and grab those. We've also got brushes available for you on the show today. It's been very busy on these brushes already. They're all available for you on the website. 4 different sizes there. They're $1.99 or $2.99 depending on where you're grabbing these from. But they are very busy. We have not had those brushes in stock for a while. We really do struggle to keep them in stock as well. So grab them whilst we've got them. Now we've got some 3D embossing folders for you on the show as well. I've got some samples actually to show you of these. So you're getting 4 of our embossing folders in there, which are gorgeous. They really are. So you can see all of this beautiful embossed detail just here. So great to do a whole project with, or you can just use it as a panel. It's completely up to you. That is the country garden that you've got there. And you're also getting 3 more in here too. So you're also going to get this lovely one just here. It's almost very French, that one, isn't it? You're also going to get this one too. Let me just show you this. This is gorgeous with the frame detail there in the middle as well. Very lacy, very vintage, very chic. And then you're also going to get this one just here as well. So they're the 4 different options that you are going to receive in there. They are a 3D folder as well, so it means it offers you lots of different layers and depth to your embossing. Now, there are some fabulous deals on ink pads in this show. You've been shopping ahead as well. Very busy on our water reactive ink pads that we've got for you. This is them. Now, the great thing about this collection is we've restocked on a lot of our really gorgeous, vibrant colours. So some of your favourites are in here, like the Chinese red there you can see. You've also got the honey pot in here, which is a really versatile one. I know that's one of Debbie's favourites as well. So loads of great colours for you. Already 10% gone on these. You're saving $14.97, which is the cost of 3 ink pads really, so definitely not to be sniffed at. £50 or $70. Club Inspire Platinum members in the UK could get this for £40 or $56. So make sure you are availing of your Club Inspire discount as well. If you want to get ahead and place your order, now's a great time to do so. You can do that over on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. Loads of you chatting away already in the comments today. Terry Lee says, happy Saturday, I can finally watch, listen and read no work today. The lovely Jan in Ravello in Italy says, hi Joe and Debbie, determined to watch most of the shows having spent all day on the computer sorting out lots of bits and bobs. She's flying back to Manchester to see her dad, so she can't wait. Hello Jan, hope you get home safely. C. Keller says, hi everyone, this is my favourite show of the week, how awesome. And Carol says, hi Joe from Ohio, Carol. And also a hi to Debbie as well. Anything you want to join the conversation, you can do so on Facebook and YouTube. Right, how do we decide, Debbie, where we're going to start? Because I know you love embossing folders and there's some pretty awesome collections, isn't there, in this show?
There's some really awesome collections, and actually start wherever you want to start. Just take the pick of what you like. Choose the ones that you think you're going to get the most out of. I love this collection because I really like bold swirls. I like patterns. I like to be able to create backgrounds, and these type of embossing folders are really going to be able to create those gorgeous backgrounds for you. I mean, this is so understated because all you're putting on here, you're accessorizing it with sentiment and a flower, and that's all you need. Maybe using some gilding wax on your colors when you make your backgrounds. I mean, look how absolutely gorgeous that looks. That would make a lovely invite, so you've got that centerpiece in the middle, or maybe making it into a little gift bag. It just looks incredible. These sort of embossing folders are what are going to last you throughout years of crafting, because they're going to always come in handy. I mean, we've put a lot of these on to make it seem like the main feature feature is the embossing folder, but to have them in the background and have that beautiful feature that people wouldn't know how you did that, it's that wow factor. It's the factor that you can do so much different techniques with them, and maybe just using it on different colours of your Centura Pearl, it would just look really effective. I mean, this isn't a Christmas folder, but adding that bauble in makes it just a really beautiful Christmas one. I'm just going to show you this last one because I think this is absolutely lovely. It's so soft and delicate, and just using just a really pale pink on there on some cream cardstock looks incredible.
Awesome. Loads of questions and comments coming in. Michelle says, words cannot describe how happy I'm about a lesson on embossing folders. I actually went and put my glasses on. That's showing intent. Husband said this must be getting serious, which is quite hilarious. Stacey says as well, what's the difference between a 3D folder and a normal one? She says she doesn't fully understand the difference, Debbie.
Oh, yeah, and actually we do get asked that all the time, because embossing folders emboss, create a pattern, they can create an imprint into a card. What 3D embossing folders do, they create a sculptured effect. So you get different levels of embossing. So sometimes they don't always look like they're 3D. It's what's in the background, in the foreground, and all that different elements inside, and that's what makes a 3D folder stand out. A 2D embossing folder, so a regular embossing folder, it would literally go up, go across and come down. So it really is just a case of one up and down evenly across, which creates lovely patterns. A 3D embossing folder, and I'll show you on this one that we're going to do, will create that sculptured effect, so you get that real element of pop out on your card. So what I'm going to start with, I'm starting with our swells. I'm just going to get the full name. I think it's the Regency Swells. Yes, Regency Swells. Now, how you can tell with an embossing folder which way to go, you can feel your grooves are flat, which means the raised part here is going to push up into these, so you know that that's embossed. If you turn it the other way and you have that raised bit pushing down, you're going to get a deboss, and both look just as nice. But if you want that 3D element where it's being embossed, just make sure that most of your grooves are the ones that are grooved in, so this bottom bit is pushing through that card. So what I am going to do, we're going to start with a really quick technique that we all love, and most people that loves their ink pads. So I'm just going to use a few of my ink pads, and we're just going to apply these to the actual embossing folder itself. So don't be frightened to use your ink pads in this way. So all I'm going to do is apply directly to the front of my folder, and I'm just giving it a little rub across the top. I'm not even putting too much down. You don't want loads of ink. So then I'm going to go in with my purple.
Already really busy on those ink pads, Debbie. People jumping to the internet already to grab theirs. They're really awesome. 13 pieces, a really nice size collection as well, isn't it?
It's a really good collection. So if you're one of these people that really have not been too sure whether to go for our ink pads, you might even have some ink pads and think, well, actually, I might not need any other ink pads. This is a good way to try them at such a good price, and you will really see the quality of them, how juicy they are, the different techniques that we can do with them, and it is just a really nice way to give them a trial run.
Love those colours there.
Yeah, aren't they beautiful? And that really highlights the colours. Now, I always think this technique is quite a magical technique, because where we're running the inks across the folder, we're actually creating a gap, so we get a lot of white space, which is really pretty. So with a 2D embossing folder, you would just need your top cutting plate and your bottom cutting plate. So that's all you need. For a 3D folder, because it's thicker, you will need a different platform, and that's all in your booklet for your Gemini machine. So if you're not following what I'm doing, although you can watch it back, you will be able to get all that platform in the book. What you do need is your plastic shim plus your metallic mat. Then you're going to need to put your folder in the center and your top plate on top.
Oh, that's a great point, because Diana was asking about the folder combination for 3D folders, which is awesome. Kathy's asking, Debbie, can you wash the Daubers that you use interchangeable pads which go on the bottom of the blenders.
Absolutely, yes. And what I would recommend is putting them in some, like, just a mild washing up liquid in warm water. You don't need hot water, and just wash them. All the ink will come out. You'll have them stained. In fact, I've just used my ones that had. Oh, here we go. This one has been washed, so I actually washed this one, but it's still stained. You can see where it was a blue, it's stained, but that's completely clean. So even though it's stained, you don't have to worry, you can reuse them over and over again.
Awesome.
So let's do a reveal, shall we? So we do it, where are we doing it? On here? So I'm going to lift this up. Look at this, Joe.
Oh, wow.
Look how much we've got, all that beautiful white space there. We've got those gorgeous colours going through. It looks incredible. And then what you've actually got is, can you see these little sort of checkered effect in the background?
It looks like a linen effect.
Well, that is really low. It's not as high embossed as here. This leaf here is not as high embossed as this leaf here. They're not leaves, swirls, sorry. So you've got all those sculptured elements that are all over, and it just looks amazing.
Awesome. Kelly's asking what paper you're using, Debbie.
I'm actually using Sheena's. Sorry, I don't know why I said Sheena's. It used to be Sheena's cardstock. It's white stamping card.
Awesome.
It's because it begins with an S, isn't it? So
absolutely.
Yes. So stamping cardstock I'm using with 300 DSM. But what you could use, because they're water reactive, you could actually use the watercolor cardstock. So that's another good one to use. So I'm just trimming up my edges, and then there we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a little box, because we don't always have to think about having embossing folders on a card. So I've just got some, I need to just trim that a little bit more, and then we're going to do this as our little box lid.
Awesome. Michelle saying the colour combination makes me think of Joe and the colours for his Christmas tree. Maybe this could be my Christmas tree colours. I think that is an awesome suggestion, to find some cheeky tinsel in that colour as well, maybe. I think no, I'm not sure I'm going to do tinsel. Director Daniel's very surprised that I was considering doing tinsel. I don't know. Who knows? I haven't decided yet. So I did see a bauble today, which I screen grabbed on my phone. Maybe we'll try and show it to you. Which was a Santa one, Debbie, and Santa had a little surgical mask on, which I thought was very apt for this year's Christmas tree.
So I'm a bit confused, Joe. Have I missed something? Are you looking for Christmas decorations?
We're talking about Christmas baubles. We were talking about them yesterday.
Ah, right.
And how we could get modern ones for every year. And I saw one today where Santa's got a little surgical mask on one of the baubles that I saw posted today, which was the most 2020 bauble I'd seen so far.
Absolutely. I didn't even realise they'd done ones like that.
You can buy all sorts of very sort of trendy ones these days. We were talking about it yesterday, like cones of chips, for instance, and all sorts of pretty much anything you can imagine, really.
I suppose you have to be, you have to like that modern twist on Christmas.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a gimmick, really. It's all a bit of a joke. Pamela says, I use that folder with black card and Pebeo gold. It makes a great mail card. Great idea, Pam. Someone else was asking as well. There's two golds. It was June, actually, Debbie.
Yeah.
And she says there are two different golds in the gilding wax. Do you think you could show me the two different golds side by side?
I will do my best. I do have my gilding waxes. So, I tell you what, Joe, shall we grab another folder, if okay, and we can do it in black, and we can put some gilding wax. We'll put the two golds on it.
Awesome.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch and bring in my finished box. So if I turn it round so you can see it as the box, there we go.
Gorgeous.
So you've got all those, can you see what I mean about all those sculptures in there? You've got all those really low background shapes and then those swirls. And we've just made a really cute little box there.
That looks absolutely gorgeous. Right, I want to remind you of the ink pads. Really, really busy on them. It's the water reactive ones that you guys are loving. We've got both sets. We've got the pigments on the show today as well. Both sets are busy. Right, in the water reactives, you will receive some awesome colours in here. So you've got Chinese red, honey pot, lemon tonic, fuchsia, pink tulip, noir black. You've got the lagoon in here, oasis, parakeet, ocean blue, baby blue and the green topaz. The fuchsia is just gorgeous, as is the parakeet and the baby blue. Those three colours work so well together. We've restocked on a lot of our most popular colours, which is why we're now able to offer you all of these gorgeous ones right here in this collection. It's a 13-piece collection, should be over £64, over $90. However, today £50 or $70. You can use your Club Inspired discount in conjunction with that as well, which is awesome. It's a really great price there for that as well. Now, I know Debbie's favourite ink pads, I think it's fair to say she has a lot of favourites, right, Debbie? She'll tell you exactly, she'll tell you that herself. So I'm not letting any secrets away. But the pigment ink pads, I know Debbie really loves these. And this is, Debbie actually was telling me, what is it about this collection? You were saying these colours work really well, weren't you, Debbie, in the pigments?
Yeah, they really do. And once you've got, so these for me are people that have got some of the lovely colours, the pretty colours. These are the colours that are going to really enable you to use those colours to the full extent. You're going to be able to blend different shades of them, darker, lighter. You're going to get sort of, they're for edging, they're for doing your sort of highlights underneath. These are a really good set of ink pads that are almost grungy in style, but really help create with all your different colours that you've got as well. So yeah, absolutely love that set.
Awesome. Exactly the same deal there as well. 13 ink pads, £50, $70, and they are awesome. Hopefully we'll see those in a little bit more detail as we go through the show. There's loads of stuff over on the website as well, so make sure you get yourself over there and have a look at everything that's available to you in this show. So many different collections with the embossing folders, the sparkle pens, the aqua tints. There's absolutely loads of stuff in there as well. Right, should we get a little chat with Alison? Because she's standing by. I can see her. There she is. She's
sitting
right behind
down.
me.
I'm not standing.
How are you doing there, Alison? Right, were you? I know I could see you watching intently there as Debbie was crafting all along. We've got a lot of embossing folders on the show today. So, how long have you been using embossing folders? What do you tend to use them for in your crafting?
A bit of everything. I've done the box and I've used the acetate.
Oh, gorgeous!
So,
really lovely.
Yeah. Use the same one as Debbie's just done.
Oh,
as well.
That's nice. And has that got the gilding wax on there?
No, it's the pigment inks.
Nice. They cover really well, don't they, those pigment inks? Yeah, really, really awesome. Now, so how long have you been crafting with Crafters Companion product for, Alison?
Well, I got the Ultimate Pro all those years ago. And then I've really got back into it, I suppose, like most people, through the lockdown.
Absolutely. We've been hearing about so many people getting back into crafting again. Do you check out a lot of our shows over on here on Crafters TV?
More or less all of them, yes.
And do you watch us live, or do you tend to do the whole catch-up thing?
No, live mostly.
Oh, well, that's
I got made redundant, so I've got the time to now. So
so sorry to hear that, but more time for crafting, obviously.
Yes.
So it's great. It is great, especially with all the chatting along as well. What would you say is your top hero product? Do you think, Alison, out of all of the products that you own?
Yeah, righto. I don't know. I like them all, really. I mean, the dies and the embossing folders really are all really good. So I enjoy using all of those. So
awesome. And who do you tend to make stuff for mostly? For yourself? Do you give a lot of stuff away? Do you sell things?
It's family. Hopefully, going to look into perhaps trying to make a bit of a money out of it, but I haven't done as of yet.
And the burning question, of course, that's on all of our lips, Alison. How are you getting on with your Christmas crafting so far?
Okay.
How many have you got? Many to do?
No, I haven't got a big family, so that's not too bad. which is good, really.
That always makes it easier. I only have to buy 4 presents at Christmas, so I think I'm particularly lucky. So yeah, I'm always lucky. Right, we are going to drop back in on Debbie. Alison, don't go anywhere. We're going to come back to you, and hopefully you're going to share with us more of the wonderful things that you've been making as well as we go through the show, which we're really, really excited to see. Loads of you still chatting away. I'd love to see some pictures. Debbie, what do we want to see pictures of today?
Oh, any of your embossing, I'd love to see that, and I'd really love to see what your backgrounds are like, because I do love a good background. So,
yes,
yeah. And if Alison's got any to show us as well, if she's done any backgrounds with her her embossing, that'd be great. But I hope I get to speak to Alison soon,
Awesome.
Joe.
I think we can arrange that. We can arrange that. Don't you worry. So yeah, send us pictures of the things you've been making. We absolutely love to see them. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is where you can send those pictures into, which is awesome. Mary says, I look very comfortable today. I am very comfortable. Do you know what, Mary? I'm going to be honest with you. I love a sit down. I really do. And there's only twice a week I get to sit down on this show and also on the Colour Me Happy show. So I always look forward to a little sit down. Lorinda's got a question for you, Debbie. Says, does embossing acetate work well? And if so, what weight would I use?
Yes, so Alison, she will be able to answer this as well, because she's just shown us an embossed piece of acetate that she's done, which looks like it is a heavyweight. So you get heavyweight acetate. I don't know the weight of it. I just know it's actually
the one
called
we have is 300
heavyweight.
microns. The one we have from Hunky Dory.
Microns, right? Yes. So they do the heavyweight acetate, and then you can get like a thinner acetate, and it probably does emboss better than a heavyweight, because it doesn't need so much pressure put into it, but you can still put the pressure into especially if you've got the Gemini machine, so put that into your thicker acetate. So.
Awesome.
Right, so what we've done, Joe, is I've just embossed this beautiful country garden. See if we can pick, I don't think we can pick, in fact it's a good job we can't pick it up, because it means we'll be able to see the beauty of it when we apply our gilding waxes. Now, I'm not sure what golds the lady, who was it, Joe, that was asking about the gold gilding
question.
waxes?
It was...
Well, while you're looking at June. So June, what I've found in my stash, I've got 3 different golds. So if I pot them here, so Renaissance is on the show, and Antique. So that's Antique. And I don't think that's Renaissance. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the gold, so you can see that all the golds are different. So what we're actually going to do, I'm just going to go into my first gold. I'm only taking a slight bit onto my finger and then wipe it onto the side. You don't want big globules of like gilding wax. And then you're just going to go round in circles and actually have that card take it off your finger. And the more you rub that in, the more shiny that becomes, and the more colour that builds up. And then I can go in with a completely different gold and then just rub that beside. So each gold has a different colour, so it really depends what sort of gold you want to go for. I actually love the antique gold because it's more of a sort of bronzy colour. And it just goes, in fact, I'll use that next and you'll be able to see what the difference is next to that other gold.
So what are these, do you know what these 3 golds are that you've got here, Debbie?
Yeah, so I think I've got an Empire gold, a King gold, and then the antique gold.
Awesome.
So we do quite a few, but look how beautiful this antique gold is at the bottom. I will wave it up to the camera in a minute so you'll be able to see how gorgeous it is. The best thing I can also tell you about these is to make sure you polish them afterwards. Now you could do it with a kitchen cloth, but if you've got a piece of material, it makes a massive difference. It really does polish it up. And I don't know if you know the story of this, Joe, but the Pebeo gilding waxes were first made for furniture. So if you've got any wooden frames or wooden ornaments or anything like that you want to apply your gilding wax to, you can put it on there as well.
How would you apply it to things like wood, Debbie?
So what I would do is use something like a cloth or a cotton bud, something like that. I mean, I would say apply it with your finger, but you'd have to be careful with wood because obviously you don't want to get splinters.
I guess would you apply it a bit like you do boot polish kind of onto your boots?
Yeah, totally. And once it's on there, it doesn't come off. So that's why we always say less is more. And then build up the colour, because you can't take the colour off, but you can put more on.
Lorinda's asked, loads of questions coming about the gilding wax now. Which one's available on the show, producer Laura? The antique gold and the Renaissance gold are both available with a 25% discount. Does the gilding work on acetate? Lorinda wants to know.
Well, no, because it would do, but it wouldn't look nice. So I'm going to be completely honest with you there. It would go on to acetate, but it wouldn't look nice. Not only because it's see-through, it would just make it smudgy. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
Awesome. Also, she loves planners and crafting by Beverly. Says, what's the difference between Pebeo wax and other waxes? Is it just that Pebio's a brand, Debbie?
From what I know about other waxes, is some waxes are water-based. So we do a Spectrum Noir wax, and it's water-based, so it's not the same thing. Pebeo gilding waxes are not water-based, so they will not mix with water. But look how gorgeous.
That is gorgeous.
I mean, it really is, isn't it? That's gone from a plain piece of black card to something that's absolutely so stunning. And looks so beautiful. So you've still got that background, but it really does give the quality of those folders as well. All those different layers, all those sculptured elements, they're absolutely lovely. But it just shows you all those different golds that are used in there. So if you want to treat yourself, definitely go for one of the golds, two of the golds, and it will make a real impact on whatever you're using them on.
Awesome. Now, if you want to use those, they're going to work perfectly in conjunction with the embossing folders that we've got for you as well. So I remind you the ones that you've got in here. So you've got Country Garden, which is this one just here. You also then have the English Rose, the Ornate Lace, and you've got the Regency Swirls as well. Let me just show you what you're able to create with some of those as well. So you can see here, these are the kind of gorgeous results that you're going to get. I love that they work brilliantly on white card. They're going to work gorgeously on your pattern card stocks as well. Black card they work onto as well. There's loads that you're going to be able to do with these and create a whole vast array of gorgeous backgrounds. I feel like for a lot of our crafters, making backgrounds is a craft within itself, Debbie, it feels, doesn't it? Like a completely separate subgenre of crafting.
It totally is. Yeah.
Lots of questions still coming in. Wendy wants to know, Debbie, can you please tell me what glue I need to stick vellum to glitter card?
Vellum, for me, the most perfect glue is the tape pens. It is amazing on vellum because you can't see it. It's invisible. Or the Xyron machine. So, yeah.
Awesome. And also, Carol Callow would like to know, what is the difference between pigment ink pads and water reactive ones?
Okay. So pigment ink pads are natural based. So they're full of pigment that is very natural. They stay wetter for longer. They're opaque. You can't do as many techniques in the respect that you can't watercolor with them. They are more your building up of colors, you're stamping with, your heat embossing techniques. So it just depends what you want. For me, the pigment ink pads they give down just that solid layer of color, and I love the fact that we can heat emboss with them as well. But your water reactive ink pads, I would always say that is your starter ink pad for everything, because you can do everything with it. You can stamp with it, you can do your techniques with it, you can blend with them. Each color will blend into the next color literally effortlessly. So that is definitely my recommendation, to start with the water reactive and then go on to the pigment ones once you've got used to them, and then you'll really see the different and the more advanced techniques that you can do with them.
Awesome. Right, still loads more to get through in this show. So I want to share with you the cut and emboss folders that we've got on the show. Our cut and emboss folders are always so incredibly popular because they are a die cut and a embossing folder in the one go. So it makes them really, really great value. So in this collection, really versatile sentiments, you've got birthday, you also have congrats, you've got friend, you also have home in here, then we've got love, and we've also got thanks as well. So they are the 6 sentiments that you've got in there, which are absolutely awesome. 51.96 $59.96 if you want to get your hands on those as well. We're going to be getting a bit sparkly as well, so why don't I just quickly guide you through the 3 collections of sparkle pens that you've got available to you in a bundle. Now the great thing is with these, you're buying 1 set and we're sending you 3, which is awesome. So you've got the Coastal Cottage, and in here you've got Linen. Oh, can you see that shine and sparkle on that? Just gorgeous. You've got Linen, Magnolia, Peachtree, Cornflower Blue, Sea Spray, and the Pistachio as well. This collection just here, now this one is your Spring Summer, and that's going to give you Pink Champagne, Solar Red, Moonlight, Emerald Green, Soft Jade and Blue Topaz, and then finally you're going to have the Autumn Winter as well. Love all of that shine in there. That's got Smoked Quartz, Starry Sky, Olive Jade, Holly Leaf, Harvest Moon, and Red Berry as well. Absolutely gorgeous. $49.98, $65.90. That'd normally get you 2. It'll get you 3 sets in this configuration. Embossing folders and all things glittery. What is there a better combination, Debbie?
There's no better combination, Joe. You and me are so alike. We love a bit of sparkle, and actually the sparkle pens are incredible to work with, because not only can you paint, stamp, colour your images with them, you can use them for your backgrounds. So for your embossing, for all your different techniques that you can do with anything that's water based. So what I've got here is my thanks folder. We're going to be using that in a second. So you know, there's many a time we want to say thanks to people, so that's a great one to have. I'm going to be using some of my pens. These are slightly different to the ones I used in my finished demos, but I didn't have them when I got here, so I'm very terrible for not putting the right colours in when I've used them. So what we're going to do to start off with, I'm going to use my colours to make this background wash. So I'm just going to give them a little shake. So all you need to do with your sparkle pens is shake them to wake them. What it means is that ultra microfiber glitter that's in there will just make sure it's released into the ink that's in the barrel of the pen. What I love about a sparkle pen is not only does it have an amazing Japanese brush nib, but it also keeps the ink in this barrel. So it only allows ink to fill into here. Once that's gone, it has little push sign on here and a push sign on there, and you just slightly give it a little pump, really, a little squeeze, and that will release into this barrel more ink. So if your pen starts to go dry, it's just because it's not allowing any more ink until this bit is used. So it's a really good way. The other way we can do it, we can squeeze a bit of ink and put that onto our mat, which is what I'm going to do, because I'm going to use my paintbrush to actually paint the card. So I'm just going to take a few different colours and squeeze that ink onto our mat there, and then I will get my paintbrush, and I've just got another one here just to give some different contrast there, a bit of green. So let me just grab a bigger paintbrush, so just excuse me, pop these up here. So we've got our Royal and Langnickel brushes. You always want to say that with a posh voice, Royal and Langnickel. These are amazing brushes, and I tell you why I think they're amazing. I have never, in all the time I've used them, had any shedding, and I think that goes for a good brush. So if you don't have any shedding, any hairs that come out, especially when you're sort of painting, the last thing you want is to be able to pick your hair fibres off of there. You will not get these at all with these brushes. They've got a good grip because you've got like a rubber amount here, so when you're holding it, it's not going to fall through your fingers. So a really good one. The next thing I'm going to do, and I don't have clean water, I'm afraid, so I will have a little bit of a lilac-y.
Is it just me that thinks they look like unicorn horns as well?
I never thought about it before, Joe, but now you've said it, I think, yeah, you've probably got a point. But it's because they're posh brushes. They're purple, which is amazing. So yeah, you could get away with it being a unicorn. And all I'm going to do is just tap into this card. I've wet my cardstock. I'm just going to pick some of the other colours up.
So these then are a water-based ink, is that right?
Absolutely, yes.
So does that therefore mean then that we can do all of those techniques that we do all the other ones, like our aqua tints, our aqua markers? These are going to allow us to do all of those techniques?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with added sparkle, what could be better?
With added sparkle, yes. So I'm just going to mix that all together just so I can use it all, and we're just going to pop some more into there. So
Colin,
really, really quick, but I quite like the idea of just being able to have that background that's not too neat. And it's not a wash background. Now I could do that again, and we could have like a wash background where you just go backwards and forwards, but it just gives us a different look of our cardstock. And what's really nice about that, we can layer these up as well. So if I'm just going to bring in my heat tool, Joe. So if you want to recap on anything while I'm drying it, and then when it's dry, we're going to do the same thing on top of it, and you'll see that we're getting that real vividness come through from the pens.
Awesome. Laurie saying the sparkle pens are great. I stamp with them too. Real fun stuff. And Colin's asking, do you need to store the inks at a certain temperature? I'll pop that question over to Debbie in just a few minutes time. Very busy on these sparkle pens, also very busy on those water reactive inks still at the moment as well. Lots of you going for those in this show. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us, don't forget to send us in pictures of things that you've been making. As Debbie would say, we'd love to see all your different backgrounds. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is where you need to send those pictures into, which is brilliant if you want to send us those. And remember, if you want to get in touch with us as well on social media, you can do so over on Facebook. Crafters TV is where you need to join the conversation, or of course on YouTube. If you want to be on Crafters TV as well, you want to join us in the Craft House one week, absolutely you can. What I would say is email us at the email which is on the bottom of your screen at the moment, and pop Craft House into the subject line, and someone will get in touch with you, and maybe we'll get you on. Collins was asking, Debbie, do we need to store the inks at certain temperatures, which I think is a great question.
It's a really great question. So as with anything that's got a water base in it, so it's a liquid ink, you need to store them at room temperature. So the last thing you want to do is be putting them on a shelf over the radiator, because eventually the ink is just going to evaporate because it's too warm for it to handle. So I would say as long as they're kept on the side in a cupboard out of daylight, or direct sunlight I should say, and not near a radiator, you won't have no problems whatsoever. Awesome. And the other thing, Joe, that we can also say about is for the pens, they don't need to be stored a certain way. Do you know when we say with the alcohol inks to always store them horizontal, yes, so they're always flat? You don't need to do that with sparkle inks. You can actually use that. They can go anyway. So as long as you shake them before you use them, you're going to be able to use them straight away.
Awesome. I love stage 1, Debbie, so I'm really keen to see what happens with stage 2.
Yeah, so what we're doing here is we're just making it more, let me get some more water there, we're just making it more vivid, and because you can overlay them, the sparkle in it, Joe, is incredible.
Of course.
And it just gives a really beautiful finish, and you get a different look every single time. I
was really surprised, even when these are watered back, how much sparkle they still have in them.
Yes,
because there's other brands of sparkly pens out there, and they're all right, and then as soon as they're not neat anymore, you kind of lose it, but with these you really don't, do you?
No, you don't at all, and I'm well spotted, because they are pretty amazing with the sparkle that they have in them, and it's a beautiful sparkle, and it's really even as well. That's what I love about it, and it's because it's such a microfiber sparkle. So already we're building up that beautiful colour and creating that amazing background. So what I am going to do is dry it again, Joe, and then we're going to put it through our cut and emboss folder and see exactly how it's going to look.
Awesome. Now remember, it's a quadruple Debbie weekend this weekend. So we've had double Debbie today, which is awesome. And then Debbie's going to stay over tonight, and then she'll be back with us again tomorrow, which is going to be awesome, for 2 more shows. Then tomorrow we're going to be having a masterclass on the Nativity collection, which is one of my favourite Christmas collections, and I know it's one of your favourite Christmas collections as well. And then tomorrow, this time slot, will be Second Chance Sunday, which is awesome. It's when we look back on loads of the products that you've seen over the last week or so, some of your absolute favourites and highlights. So another packed day tomorrow coming up on Crafters TV as well. And remember, we're live with you now twice a day, every single day, which is awesome. Couple more questions coming in. Loads of questions today, which I'm loving, Debbie. Diane says, can you use sparkle paste in the embossing folders? I'm guessing she means like our glitter pastes.
Yeah, so yes, you can. Sparkle paste can, but you need to be very careful to not put too much in. I would actually recommend that you don't use it, but you could use it, because if you put too much in, it could squirt out, and then you're putting it through an electronic machine, which is electric. That's why, even though I'm using my Sparkle inks, I actually think that that's why we're drying it before we put them through. Where your paste, you wouldn't be able to dry it before you put it through. You could actually apply it and let it dry a bit and then put it through the embossing folder, because that would actually probably look quite nice. But I would be very careful putting anything that's still a little bit wet through an electric machine.
Okay, top tip. Sue says, how do you get your paper not to curl when you're doing the sort of wet on wet technique and then drying it, Debbie?
Yeah, so there's a couple of tips that you can do here. So the first one is to tape your card down to the actual mat. So if you put some low masking tape around the edges, then you can hold it down, and then you can do your wash, dry it, and that will stay down much better. The way I did it, and you probably notice, is when I dry it, I then turn it upside down to then dry it the opposite way, and that keeps it more flat. The other thing is just as you're doing the techniques, because the nature of the card tends to want to warp, you could just try twisting it a little while you're doing it, or putting a finger on one side of it, and that will hold it a bit steadier. But actually, it's the nature of the game. The card is going to warp that little bit, and it all adds to what we're creating, which is amazing backgrounds.
Awesome, absolutely is. Getting very busy now on this everyday embossing cut and dye. Emboss, and I'll try this again. Cut and emboss classic folder. I was just testing you, Debbie. I was making you, just testing. Two of these, any two, £20 or $23 if you did want to get two. I think it's quite nice to have the whole collection, though, don't you agree?
Absolutely, yeah, it's really nice to get them. And I just want to recap, just in case anyone see what I was doing, because I actually put the wrong platform in I didn't do it. I realised when the camera went off of me, I had my wrong platform. Because it's a cut and emboss folder, all you need for that is your two cut-in platforms. So where I was putting it in as a 3D embossing folder. So just so you know, the cut and emboss are 2D folders, and just pop them through, and that will do inside both your cutting platforms.
So Sue says about the curly cardstock. Kelly asked loads of questions about the ink pads. I think we might have to go back to ink pads at some point, Debbie.
Yes.
Because loads of people are loving them. She asked, what is the lightest grey in the ink pads? I tell you what, when we go back to the ink pads, why don't we do that question then, if that's all right with you? It is very busy across the board. I love that. Do you know what? This colour combination would go great with the new Nature's Garden collection that's coming to HSN on Tuesday.
Yes, it would. It would look amazing.
So yeah, make sure, of course, if you are over in the US, you're tuning in for those shows on Tuesday. You can go back and watch the preview back if you wish, over on the Crafters, over on our website. You'll be able to see that, a 3-hour preview that happened just last night. I think it looks quite refined, this font in these. But then also at the same time, Debbie, I've seen it using like glitter card behind. It looks totally different.
Oh, so much so. So we've got this black glitter card, and when you pop it on there, look how much that pops out. Looks amazing. I mean, it really is quite incredible. I'm just going to cut a little bit more off the end there, just so we can fit that on. And then what I'm going to do is just use another little bit of gilding wax just to highlight this swirl at the top, so it looks incredible. Just a really nice way to use your pens as a background and have them looking amazing. And how quick is it, Joe? This is the thing. You just do your background. You could batch make your backgrounds. You could do backgrounds like one day and then do all your embossing the next day, or whenever you want them. You might have a thanks, you might have a birthday, you might have a love, a new home. There's different occasions that we need them for. If your backgrounds are already ready to run through your machine, you're going to have these in no time at all.
Absolutely. And remember as well, you've got all the different sentiments in this collection: birthday, congrats, friend, home, love and thanks. So they are all super usable sentiments that you've got within there, which is awesome. I love the sparkle background as well. The cardstock you used here, Debbie, what cardstock was it for the sparkle pens?
This one is watercolour cardstock, yeah. Because I've used it to paint a background, I've used the watercolour. So
Awesome.
just pop in my swirls. And there we go. But look how pretty that looks. And I'm just going to give that a quick little buff just to shine that up. And then when I wiggle it for the camera, you'll be able to see the gorgeous design there. So if I do this, can you see? I mean, look how shiny.
So sparkly.
Yeah, I mean, so sparkly. And then you've got that added bonus of the actual gilding wax as well. Yeah, amazing.
Brilliant. Valerie over on Facebook, she says, I'll never get any housework done now I've discovered Crafters TV. I think that's a fair assumption. Maybe you just need to get Hubs to do the housework, or, you know, get someone in to do the housework. I'd say that is definitely the way forward. You just keep on with the crafting, Valerie. I think that is an absolute safe bet. I would say very busy on the sparkle pens, also very busy on those everyday cut and emboss folders that we've got for you there as well. Right, I can see Alison as well is still there with us, which is awesome. How are you getting on, Alison? I tell you what, Alison, I know that Debbie is desperate to have a chat with you, so I'm going to let you girls have a little bit of a chat.
Hi, Alison. This is fabulous. I love that we can have guests on the show in Craft House. So, do you watch Crafters TV much?
A lot.
A lot. Do you get your housework done?
No.
No, of course not. And do you have a Gemini?
I've got 2. Well, no, 3, because I've got the
3.
big one, Junior, and the mini.
I love that. So I was wondering earlier why you didn't say the Gemini was your favourite. That's what I think most people would say. That's their favourite thing. So it just makes things easy, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, definitely.
And do you like embossing and die cutting?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's great. So have you done any projects just lately that we can take a look at?
One of the ones that you've been using, you've got on the show. Oh no, you can see that. Which way am I going?
Oh, the smaller one, the mini ones. Yes, the Inspire.
Yeah.
That looks amazing. I love that. Have you used, is that like a matte mirror card?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. I love how you've done all the splats and your scissors. It looks incredible. And you're a background person, aren't you? I can see you've done your backgrounds there. Looks amazing.
Got this one.
Oh, that is lovely. Is that gilding wax you've used?
No, it's the pigment.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it's the pigment ones. Yes, they're good. The pigment ink pads, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's the metallic ink pads.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Have you got all the new colours?
I think so.
They do a gorgeous green. The green's my favourite colour. Do you have a favourite?
Not really, no. I do like the pinks and the purples.
Yeah, they do look nice, aren't they? Are you someone that always goes to that same colours all the time? Because I tend to always go for greens and pinks.
I wouldn't say all the time, no, because I do like to try and experiment with them to see how they... it doesn't work out all the time, but...
No, of course not.
It's a learning curve.
Absolutely. And actually, sometimes you really come across something and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Where you wouldn't have tried it normally. So, oh, well, it's lovely talking to you, Alison. Your makes are just amazing.
They are indeed. Alison, don't go anywhere. We'll be dropping in with you again as well throughout that second hour. So we'll be speaking to Alison again very soon, I'm sure. Right, what I'd like to do is recap some of the stuff that's proving very busy in this show. The Cut and Emboss Classic Everyday Folder 6-piece collection is really busy. A lot of you are loving this. Think about the different colorways in which you can use these. Think about all the different textures you can have with mirrors and matte mirrors. Think about even maybe paper piecing back together with some of these too. Really good value, $51.96 or $59.96 depending on where you're shopping. The absolute bargain of the show. How are we doing for stock with these? I'm a bit concerned that we're not going to have enough of these to last the show. £7.96 or $11.80 gets you 6 of these, but very, very busy on them. They're actually, I think we might break the internet. These are so busy. busy. $7.96, $11.80 gets you 6 of them, which is awesome. 6 really different looks, feels and effects there, which I think is great. You've also got the Harmony pigment ink pads available to you on the show. These are really fantastic. I think they're loads of versatility with what you can do with these, and they are opaque, so they cover a lot. £50, $70 gets you those. Club Inspire Platinum members in the UK, £40 you'd pay for those. You'd pay $56 for them in the US. The storage trays, these are always busy whenever we bring these to you. You're going to need somewhere to put those ink pads. $16.99 would normally get you 6 pieces, which would store 18 ink pads. However, you're getting double that in this deal, which is awesome. You buy one, you get one free, which is absolutely awesome. I think, though, fast becoming the star of the show is our water reactive ink pads that we have. The great thing is about these is that we've got so many awesome colours back in stock for you. You can see here, look at that gorgeous selection of vibrant, bright colours that are there. Now, the colours you're getting in this collection, you will be receiving Chinese red, honey pot, lemon tonic, fuchsia, pink tulip, noir black, lagoon, oasis, parakeet, ocean blue, sandstorm, baby blue, green topaz. That's everything that you're getting in there. They are beautiful, beautiful colours. It is very busy on them. And again, £50 or $70. That's fast becoming your pick of the show, that one. Now, there are some more awesome embossing folders for you. We've got a great Cyrus Signature embossing folder collection for you. Now, in this one, you get 5 embossing folders in here, which is awesome. $17.97 or $23.93. So what you've got there are 2 of your Crafty Fun embossing folders. You've also then got in here as well 2 of the rose gold embossing folders as well. So really, really pretty, all of these are. And then you got the one of our vintage lace ones. So you get the Venetian lace from the vintage lace. You're also then going to get 2 from the rose gold, which is awesome. And then you're getting the Rick Rack and the Crafty Friends as well from the Crafty Fun collection. Really, really gorgeous those. $17.97 or $23.93. You've got a great saving on those 2, which is always awesome. Loads of people chatting away. Maze Cocoa Patch on YouTube. I love how colourful your names are on YouTube. She says, hi from Mary in Virginia, USA. She says, I have the Aquatint watercolour pots. Do I need the water reactive ink pads as well? What do you think, Debbie? She's got the Aquatint watercolour pots. Does she need the water reactives?
Well, that's a difficult decision, isn't it? Of course you do. You'll find them amazing because they'll work so much in conjunction with your aqua pens or your tints, because what they enable you to do is add extra colours so you can blend into the edges, so you can create different backgrounds. They all have a purpose and they all have a job. So you'll find you'll be able to do more stamping techniques when you've got the ink pads to what you can do with your pens or your inks. So yeah, they absolutely will work in conjunction together, and you will love them.
Awesome. Michelle says thanks to Alison for sharing all of her makes. They're beautiful. They really are, Michelle. Thank you very much for that. Carol says as well, talking about housework, Joe, since Crafters TV has had programmes 2 times a day, I have to dust my table first before taking a picture of my craft project. She says, very bad to watch TV so much for housework, but who cares? I love you guys. We love you too, Carol, as well. Some more questions coming in as well, Debbie, for you. William would like to know, what is the difference between water reactive and dye-based?
Water reactive and dye-based. So pigment dye. So one is natural. So a water reactive one is man-made, and a pigment is a natural substance. So that's the main differences between them. So when you've got something that's water-based, that is a handmade substance. The pigment is pigment that comes from everyday things like fossils and stone and chalks, and so you get that pigment, and they are packed full of colour and it holds the colour. So what you will find is water reactive will fade quicker. So let's say you were doing a stamping project and you wanted that to go on the wall. Maybe daylight is going to actually fade that a little bit. With pigment ink, because it's a natural source, it will actually stay vibrant. So that ink will not fade. It will be amazing. So that's pretty much the two differences.
Okay, wonderful. Couple more ink pad questions coming in, a couple of different ones for you. Crafting with Stacey would like to know how many ink pads there are of each type, and also Mary Ann says, how do the water reactive ones compare to something like a distress ink pad?
Oh, there's a question. I know the answer and I can't remember. So I think it's 3, 6, 9. I think there's 12 colours and 3 of each.
36.
36, there you go, yeah. So there's 36 colours. Every colour is identical in each set, but they will come out slightly different even though, so they all complement each other. So it's not a case that think because you've got the water reactive ink pads, you don't need the pigment ink pads or you don't need the quick drying. They will all work together. And what I would recommend, because obviously it's a considered purchase, go for the bundles that are on offer and try them for yourself. Collect the colours that you use the most, and then you can start adding those extra colours to it, or the bundles that we put on for you, and that make them more affordable.
Awesome, great top tip. And then just the last one, Mary Ann said, how do these how do the water reactives compare to something like a distress ink pad, Debbie?
Yeah, exactly, that they work in exactly the same way. So distress ink is pretty much the same sort of thing. It's just what you get from it. We do what the main thing is with our colours, Joe, is that we have the 3 complementing colours. Distress inks just have individual colours,
awesome.
And that's why it makes this range so much special.
Brilliant. Okay, what do you fancy sharing with us next then, Debbie?
Right, I'm going to get, you know what, I love this collection. So if you just want a little bit of a mix of a taster of Sarah's collections, she's put 4 of her biggest selling embossing folders from different collections in this set, and they just look incredible. Oh, that's not the right one. Oh no, it is. I do apologise. It's the vintage lace. I thought it was the different. I thought it was a swirly one as I looked at it then. But you've got a vintage lace in this collection. I mean, it really is that vintage design. Look how gorgeous that is in the background. Looks amazing. Just use those inks. Do everything that you want to do. Then we've got the rose gold. So if you're going to go for the rose gold collection, I'm going to use this one in the next demo and show you how we can get this effect in the background. So we've got, this is our confetti burst. You can see it a little bit better in this one. It's just gorgeous. It's one that really highlights a celebration in the background. Really, really gorgeous design. So the actual background here with the roses, this is another one from the rose gold collection, and you've got those gorgeous roses. Just show one more there. So looks really cool. They just create that beautiful background. I mean, how plain would the background look if you didn't have it embossed? It would just be quite a plain background there. So then we're going to go on to the crafty, Sarah's Crafty Friends. Am I going to go the right way? There we go. This is the Rick Rack.
Your hot chocolate almost came out there, Debbie.
It certainly did. I nearly spilled all my cream over the place. So what we've got there is our Rick Rack in the background, which looks really, really great. And then this one I absolutely love. This is your Friends embossing folder, which has got all your words then all over the background. And if I just bring in this one, I love this, that just a touch down the side looks amazing. So a really nice one to use.
It really is gorgeous, and you get all of those 5 pieces for that great price that you can see there, which is awesome, because you're looking at what, about £3.80 per embossing folder, something around that point. So it's really, really good value, considering as well they're not just embossing folders. These are Sarah's signature embossing folders that you're getting here, some of your absolute favourites, which is brilliant. Kelly saying as well, I tried my gilding wax just now for the first time. Thank you, Debbie. I am in awe, and I am definitely going to purchase more colours. I absolutely love it. I think you've really inspired people with that, Debbie.
Oh, I'm so pleased. You know what? I'm thrilled with all the comments we got coming in today, Joe, because actually questions are what we're here for, and we'll always be honest, and if I can't answer them, I'll find someone that knows more than I do. So it's great that we've been able to answer all your questions. Gilding waxes, I mean, we need to get them out and use them more, because there's so much that they enhance everything that we do, especially in embossing folders. But don't think you can't use them on everything else. So just before I go on, I've put my confetti burst onto here, and I'm just using, again, my 2 cutting plates sandwiched between, and we're going to run that through our machine. So what Gilding Wax does is it enhances anything. So even if you're using your aqua tints, if you're using your sparkle pens, whatever you're using, your ink pads, you can still apply that Gilding Wax over the top and it works amazing. So this gives us our starburst, which you won't be able to pick up too much, but what we are going to do, I'm bringing in 3 of the colours. Now these 3 colours are in that collection today. Now these are 3 of mine, Sarah's and Leanne's favourite colours. They're the colours that we choose to use when we're blending them together.
This is Fiona's favourite colour combo as well.
And I think it's probably all of ours because they are amazing colours. My favourite colour is the Honey Pot. I just love that one. It's such a good one for blending. The fuchsia is obviously, I'm a pink girl, so fuchsia is always for me. And the parakeet is just this burst of turquoise. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to start off with the Honey Pot. Because we've got this centre part, I'm just going to start blending. I've got a clean one there. I'm just going to start blending. I think I've got a bit of a dirty... let me just switch.
You got a dirty dauber?
I've got a dirty dauber.
Oh, there is
Debbie's
nothing,
dirty dauber.
There's nothing worse than when Debbie's got a dirty dauber, I assure you.
Actually, you know what, Joe? Look,
Have you got the wrong colour?
It's not the right colour.
Oh, no.
Look, I'm thinking it was probably me earlier. It was probably me earlier. So can I just go?
You may.
Go back to you.
You may go
Joe.
and get the correct one indeed. Let me just remind you of all the different colours that are here in this collection that you're going to be receiving. It is getting really busy now on the Water Reactive inks. You're going to get in here some of your favourites. You've got the Chinese Red, the Honey Pot, the Lemon Tonic, the Fuchsia, the Pink Tulip. You also have in there the Noir Black, the Lagoon, the Oasis, Parakeet. You've got the Sandstorm, Ocean Blue, Baby Blue, and the Green Topaz in there as well, which is absolutely fantastic. So you're going to get all of those beautiful, vibrant colours in there. How are you getting on? Have you tracked it down? It's like when, do you remember when you were a kid and people put the DVDs back in the wrong cases? Oh, what a nightmare.
Yeah, did you do that on purpose, Joe? I can imagine you were very mischievous.
No,
Yeah.
I was an angel when I was younger.
So all it was, the last demo, I used these 2 colours. So I put my Friar Brown and my Honey Pot the wrong way. What I'm glad about that it was me that did it and someone else didn't use
You
them,
can always
so.
blame someone else. It's always
I would
quite easy.
never blame somebody
It's always
else.
easy to blame Sarah because she's the boss, you see. So you can always just say it's Sarah. And she never gets in trouble.
Well, that's quite true. I never thought of that. No, I'd never blame someone else. I'm one of these people, I would take the blame rather than blame someone else.
Just like me, Debbie. I would never imply anyone else. I am that person. Debbie was pointing out before the show today, I'm always like, I've lost this. I bet someone's moved it. Oh, and this happened. I bet someone's moved that. The cleaner, bless her, she's always getting the blame, isn't she, Debbie? And she's never here as well. So she's very easy to blame whenever I lose things, inverted commas.
I know, it's really funny. It's the one thing I've really noticed about you today, Joe. It's so funny.
Oh, it's because it's the weekend, you see. Let's blame that. Let's blame the week.
So look at all these different colours that we're creating. We've got this turquoise now, and if we go over that pink, we're creating this purple in between. So the colours are going to blend together. And I think it's probably why all the team love these colours, because the blendability on them, and you can't see where one colour starts and one colour ends. They just blend effortlessly into each other. If I turn this round and do the other side, they just look beautiful.
Really gorgeous. I love that blue. I love how they all play so nicely together as well, the way they seamlessly blend from one colour to another. I mean, you're creating a purple there. You haven't got purple at all in those 3 colours.
No, not at all. And that's the great thing with these colours. They were put together with you in mind to create even more colours. So you've got those colours to tie in together to create the colours that you want to create. And you've got the colours so you can make a green, you can make your purples. There's lots of different colours you can make. And then go back in. You can always go back in and create even more. So if I put more around there, we're going to create that more purple colour coming around. I mean, look how amazing that
I love
looks.
that.
Yeah, really love that. And this is just one of those folders in the collection. This is a great one to have. And in fact, Joe, I wouldn't even say you needed anything else to add to this, just a sentiment. That's all you would need.
Awesome.
And
And you're
just
going to have
that
so much
last
fun
one.
playing with these, I'm guessing.
Yeah, totally. And then if we just bring that up, you'll be able to see how gorgeous that looks when it's done.
Absolutely beautiful. Really lovely. If you want to get your hands on them as well. A really lovely array of colours in this set, Debbie. Going to be colours that you're going to have fun using together, I'm thinking.
Oh, totally. All of these colours are going to mix with each other. You're going to be able to use them to do all your different variations of styles. If you want to stamp with them, you can stamp with them, use them in your embossing folders, use that letterpress technique with them. So much you can do with the stamps. If you haven't got our ink pads, please give these a go, because you will absolutely love them and would not be disappointed.
Awesome. £50 or $70 if you want to get them. You're getting all of those fabulous colours in there as well, which is awesome. Snooze you lose your Sonia's been in touch, Debbie, and she says she loves your laugh. There you go. Got another.
I have a little bit of a cheeky laugh. I think it's a little bit witchy, I always think.
Witchy? No, I don't think so. I think it's a fabulous laugh. Now, loads of you chatting away with us over on social media, which we love. Remember, if you want to watch and shop at the same time, though, it's very easy to do so. Here, in fact, is all the details. Hi, I'm Joe from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can grab the best deals and shop whilst you watch during our shows. So the best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. Head on over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV. You can see all of our shows, offers, and even shop while you watch. Now if you want to get involved and comment along, head over to our Facebook page. Come say hello, ask us some questions, and lol with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even AirPlay directly onto your big screen. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easier to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. All the details there, of course, how you can watch and shop at the same time. It couldn't be easier. Oh, Debbie, loads of pictures coming in, which we absolutely love. Check out what Michelle Harris has been up to with her cut and emboss folders. How awesome is this? Ooh.
Wow, that's beautiful. Look at that.
Really
wow,
lovely.
she's really, you know what, Joe, you've got a steady hand there, Michelle, because I think you've put like either got a quite thick gold gilding wax on there, or you've painted it. Yeah, that's incredible. I love that.
Really, really gorgeous. Benita's been sending us in this. It's a very festive bauble there, Debbie.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I do believe that's another embossing folder, or is it a die cut? Don't really know, but it looks beautiful.
Christine's made this, which I think is awesome.
Oh, look at that background. That's incredible. You know what that looks like, Joe? It looks like the top of Earth.
Yeah, like outer space, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that, Christine.
Really, really fabulous. And also, Cecilia has sent this in to us as well. And I love that embossing folder background.
I actually think that we've got quite a few experts on gilding wax. That gilding wax has been applied incredibly well and quite thickly, but she's got it just where it needs it.
Brilliant. Debbie, can you just recap what those three colours were that you used for that last demonstration?
Yeah.
Lots of people asking about it on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely the colours you want. So it's parakeet, honey pot and fuchsia. And they are what the whole team love. They are probably our three top colours that we go to when we want to blend or do a demo with them, because they just blend beautifully well together. I mean, there's loads of other colours that blend beautifully well together, but they are just a favourite for the team.
Absolutely. Right now, very, very busy on that ink pad collection. Really, really lovely selection of colours that we've got just there. Right, we're going to check back with Alison. Alison, hello. Alison, been doing lots of inking in the show. What ink pads have you worked with, and have you got favourites?
It's mainly been the which one is it? The opaque ones and the metallic ones, those are the ones I've mainly used, although I have got all of them, but those are the ones that I've mainly used.
And how do you find they're pretty easy to work with?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they give you such a great effect, don't they? Have you got some more of the wonderful things that you've been working on that you'd like to share with us? Because we love it when you show us your makes.
Just got one more. This is the wick rack.
Oh, that is awesome. How have you done that?
I can't do it.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Gorgeous. How have you created that look for the pot on the front there? It's very clever.
Just made it.
So what is it? Is it just like a curved piece of cardstock, the pot?
Yeah, I've just curved it round. And
Oh,
obviously
awesome. And then flowers, have you made those flowers?
Yes, they're from your foam kit, the flower foam kit.
Awesome. And how do you get on with the flower making? Have you found it pretty easy?
Yeah, I enjoyed making them.
It's one of those things, isn't it, where you just sort of start making them and the next thing you know, you're surrounded by 400 flowers and it's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear that a lot from lots of different people. They are absolutely beautiful. What's the last thing what's on your craft desk at the moment, Alison? What's the last thing you were working on?
That.
Oh, it's beautiful. It really, really is. It is lovely to have you in the studio. Now, Alison, I think we're going to come back to you again before the end of the show. So do stay there and we will come back to Alison again and check in with her again before the end of the show. Lots of you still chatting away. Marianne says, what a job Joe has. Absolute dream job. Isn't it just? Mary, it really is. Just sat here having a good old chat, having a good old gossip. It's awesome. Get loads of my mates to come in, like Debbie who drops in. She, stays for a couple of days. We have some food, have a bit of a gossip and a natter. Doesn't get any better. Sue says, I want a set of ink pads. What she wants is, Debbie, she's going to go for a set of ink pads. She's going to buy a whole collection. So she's not really interested in sort of dabbling in a few different collections. She's just going to go big and she's going to buy all of one. She says, what would you suggest? Would it be the pigment or the water reactive as her first set of ink pads?
Oh my goodness, that is a massive question because I totally love them all. You have to get what is right for you. If you do lots of background techniques where you love your watercolouring, you love to paint with your ink pads, because literally, Joe, I mean, you could get your ink pad, you can use your glass mat. So putting your ink pad here, you can use your glass mat. I'm just gonna grab myself some card. You could use this as your painting platform. So you can sort of take this and use it to paint with. I mean, I've just I've got dirty water. So just painting, and if you've got an image you can paint with, you can do that. You can't do that with the pigment ink pads. You can create faux bleaching effects, you can stamp with it. So I suppose what I'm saying is, if you are someone that loves to do lots of different techniques with an ink pad, I would definitely go for the water resistant. But if you are someone that stamps loads, I personally think stamping with the pigment ink pads there's no better. I mean, you've got your quick drying, but quick drying are good because they quick dry. I love the fact with the pigment ink pads, they are a natural source of pigment in them, which means they're going to last, your colours in them are going to last lots longer, and you're going to be able to heat emboss with them. You can create enamelled toppers, enamelled alphabets, and they look incredible. So yeah, and I'm the same. If there's a collection to have, just go big and have the lot. But I think I can't really answer the question which one to go for first, because I don't know what your needs are. But I would say if you are a die-hard stamper and you want to use a really good ink pad, because you can still blend with the pigment ink pads and create different things with them, then you go for the pigment. But if you are someone that likes all your watercolour techniques, you like doing background washes, you like faux bleaching, I would go for the water reactive ones.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Debbie. Really, really busy on all of those. A lot of you chatting away. Kathy says all of her ink pads have just arrived. She is a very happy crafter. Right, I want to recap the everyday cut and emboss folders that we've got available for you on the show. So you've got 6 different sentiments within here, which is awesome. So let me just see if I can get these to you. There you are. So you've got the 6 different sentiments in here, so you can see. So you've got birthday, which is one here. You also have congrats. You're going to get friend. You then have home, as well as love, and also thanks. So all really usable, workable sentiments that you've got in there. They cut and emboss as well, which is fantastic. Now, if you want to get them individually, you can, or you can get them on a motorbike as well. And you get 2 for £20 or $23 if you choose to get them in that configuration. So it's completely up to you. There really is a price point for everyone in the show, which is awesome. Right, Debbie, one more question for you on the ink pads. Karen asks, on the blues, the Oasis, the Spa and the Baby, they come out more grey than blue. Have you experienced that?
Oh, well, I've actually got the Oasis in my hand now, so I'm going to use it. So I've not known it to come out grey, but what I am going to do is use a different technique, because the one thing people say a lot to me, or crafters do, say, oh, it's a shame you can't do the letterpress technique in a cut and emboss folder, but actually you can. So even though it's cutting those letters, you are still able to cut and emboss using the letterpress technique. So I'm going to show you exactly how you do that. Now remember, with these folders, not only are you getting a embossing folder, you are actually getting a set of words, alphabets. So this in itself, birthday, cut out, you would pay quite a bit of money just for that birthday die. So if you was to buy a birthday die like this, I would say you would be paying about $7.99 to $9.99 just for this one die. But you are getting an embossing folder as well as the actual die. So really, really good. So as with, I'm going to use 2 colours, and so we can see the blend in them. So I'm using the Oasis. So I'm going to start off just popping my ink pad over the top and rubbing it down. So you can see it's going onto this foam here. Now the good thing about that, what it means is it's going to be dyeing my cardstock that's coming out as well. And then I'm going to just go in with the yellow, and you can you see straight away what's happening here? The colours are mixing. They just look incredibly cool. So I'm just going to go in with this one, and then we're just going to go back in with the blue just to make sure we've caught all that detail. And then we're going to take our card and run that through. Popping that over. Let's pop the ink pads to the side and run that through. So remember, it's a cut and emboss folder, which is a 2D folder. So we're going to place that between our cutting plate and then our next cutting plate, and then we're going to run that through. So just running it through the Gemini. I'm using the small plates with the big Gemini because it's quicker, and the embossing folders will all fit through an A5 die cutting machine. So whatever die cutting machine that you have out there, all our embossing folders will work.
What's the one that you use most out of the 3 or 4, I should say, Debbie, when you're at home?
Well, the big one is always on my desk. Yeah, right. I probably use it the most. So if I pull this back like this, I'm also going to do something else, Joe. I'm going to take a piece of my low-tack tape, and I'm just going to pop it onto my dress because I just want to take off a bit of the stickiness, because I'm going to place this over the top of my birthday. So this is a great little tip. So just running it, I'm just making sure it sticks. So when we pull that away, the birthday stays in there. So then what I can do is when you turn it over, I'm going to take my pokey tool, and then I'm going to start releasing the actual words onto there. Now it takes just a little bit of time, but it's well worth it, because what that's doing is catching all those letters and keeping them on I've got a sticky bit. I should have changed this actually, I might do in a second. I've got a sticky piece on top of my, I can't expect, there we go. I'm just going to change it over.
A sticky bit, you got a sticky pokey tool?
A sticky pokey tool.
Nothing worse,
I couldn't get my words out then. I had a sticky pokey tool. I can't get my words out.
Worse
I'm not doing very well here, Joe, let's say.
Valerie's asking if you wash the ink off the folders after you've used them.
Yes. So definitely wash the ink, especially because of the foam. So this isn't working how I thought it was work. What I normally do is just it would normally come off, but I think because the ink's still a bit wet, it's not sticking. Can you see? It's not because the ink's wet, it's not sticking to my...
so is it that your low tack tape won't stick to the wet cardstock?
Yes, and actually what I perhaps should have done was not put it on my dress. But let the ink dry, because when you take all these parts out, they will stick to that low tack tape and you'd have a straight run of your birthday. So there we go. But look how pretty this looks. I'm just going to get a piece of black card so you can see that. So popping that on there. We've just got a little bit that's come out here. Let me just pull that. So you've got this one, but then if you start to put all these pieces in, you could use these on another piece and you've actually got your birthday cut out for you. So a really nice way of just using all the different elements that are in here.
How fabulous. Loads of questions still coming in, which we'll get through as we go through this show. And I love this technique too. I love the idea of inking and then cutting and embossing as you are here, Debbie. But I love seeing when people use the water reactives to make a background and then they die cut out of them as well. You know,
I think I've lost some bits. Sorry, Joe.
Sorry?
I think I've lost some bits.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've lost some of my bits, but never mind. So we've got a bit of our arm missing. That's that bit. So I think they must have flicked off because we've got a few bits missing, but you get the idea. We've got our birthday in our line, and then we've got our actual birthday. So what you can also do, I'm just going to take this in because then we can use our blue. I'm going to use our blue, just take some of our ink, and I'm just going to go round the edges. So if we just use this, it will really highlight that embossing around there and just brings it all together. And you can use whatever inks you want just to do that, because can you see, even though I'm blending this different colour and now creating that green at the bottom, it all blends really well into each other. So a really nice design. Just pop in a little bit more. And it just draws, so being able to edge a card means that you can draw your eye into that centerpiece. And when I pop that then back on the black card, you'll be able to see how much that highlights and brings it all into the middle. So look at that. It's just lovely. It's just so nice that really draws your eye in and looks beautiful. And because the letterpress, we've got all this white space that you can see where the embossing is.
Looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really loving that colour combination as well. Mary in Tennessee, friend of the show, says that's what I love about the Big Gemini. I can use the junior plate with it as well, which really makes a huge difference. I've got a fabulous question that's come in for you, Debbie, from Sheila, who says, what would your top 5 things be that are a must for someone that was just getting into card making?
Wow, what a brilliant
question.
That's an amazing question. So number 1 would absolutely be a Gemini machine, because die cutting is just huge in the craft industry. And even if you didn't want to do loads of die cutting, it's always good to be able to create all your own sentiments and embellishments for your card. So number 1 would definitely be that. I would then go for tacky glue. Tacky glue is my choice of glue. I love it because it will go on any surface of cardstock. So your mirror cardstock, your glitter, your box making, your construction, your just general cardstock, and it doesn't cause any harm to the surface because it's a water-based glue. If you're going for all-purpose glue, that's a solvent-based glue. So that could take some of the shine off of mirror card and things like that. So I'd always go for tacky glue. I would then go for the stamping platform because I love to use the stamping platform. It's just one of those, if you're going to stamp and you're going to do different techniques and you're going to make backgrounds, then to go for that. So what are we on? Well, that's 3. So we've got our stamping platform, we've got our glues, we've got our machine. So then we'd want cardstock. So my favourite cardstock is the stamping card because it works for everything. It works for die cutting, embossing, your watercolour techniques, works for everything. but I'm also a massive lover of Centura Pearl. So if I ever see Centura Pearl on the show, I'm so pleased because it embosses like a dream. So if you've gone for embossing folders today, definitely go for some Centura Pearl because it just embosses beautifully. And then my fifth one, is that my fifth one?
Fifth one, yeah.
Fifth one, I would absolutely go for the glass mat. The glass mat is the one thing every crafter needs. So yeah, for all their
awesome.
techniques.
Well, I hope, Sheila, that answered your question. I know you've got lots of different ideas there that you want to take us through on ways you can use this collection, Debbie.
Oh, so many, because we really do have a lot of samples for this. Now, I love this one because look what we've used here, or what, in fact, we've got Michelle that's used this. She's used a pattern paper. It's not something we normally think to go for is a pattern paper when we're doing embossing, but it looks incredible and really, really sweet. Then we've gone for that mirror card behind. I mean, look at the shine on there, and just then paper piecing all these different elements out just looks really cool. Adding that happy birthday stamp at the top to blend in with the happy birthday just looks really lovely. And then going for something that's really just full of almost candy floss, isn't it? It's got those real beautiful soft tones, and using our balloons, so the balloon stamps and dies that we've had before. Use them with your stash. Putting papers behind that looks really good. Then using something like this, I love this one because it's actually got a middle section. It's actually a bowed front, and it's just a really nice way to highlight. But look at that congrats, it looks really amazing in there. And then just using it on some cardstock, doing a graduation of your colours going down, which looks really good. So then we've got, let's go through a few more quickly there. We've got all our congrats, and let's do a friends one. Let me just pick some different ones.
How's that one been done there, the friend one with the aperture? Is that different cardstocks?
So yes, what that is, someone's actually, it's, oh, they have, it is the, oh, our producer Laura spotted something. She's very savvy. So these are quilling strips that have been stuck together to create this. I was just thinking, Joe, something like do you know in the DIY shops, you get the paint swatches with all the different greens and things running down. You could use something like that behind these.
Great.
And they're free. You could just pick them up.
Awesome.
And I'm just going to show you this last one, which is the home one. I love this one. I like the fact that the O is a house. So many different ways you can use this. It's a really cool one to have. Yeah, really beautiful.
Really, really awesome. Getting really busy on those as well. 51.96, 59.96 if you want to grab those ones just there. Great saving on them as well. Remember, you can use your Club Inspire discount on top of that as well, should you wish. Now, loads more of you sending us in pictures, which we absolutely love. The lovely Pam has sent us in an image. This looks beautiful, Debbie. This gorgeous. This is the Christmas words that we had in this collection.
Oh, that is so pretty, isn't it? It almost looks like a beige Centura, but I actually think that it's been coloured with our ink pads. And I love the black behind it. It's very dramatic, Pam.
And a different one here using the same embossing cut and emboss folder.
And it just goes to show, same embossing folder, but two totally different looks, and they both look incredible.
Really gorgeous. Diana sent this one in. This looks so chic and vintage, this one, Debbie.
Yeah, that's gorgeous, isn't it? God, I remember that folder. That's really beautiful. So, and our, it's either our Midas ink pads or actually I think that's the gilding waxes on that one. Great work, Diana.
Rose Awesome Carol Guy. What's going on here? Oh, okay, sorry. Rose, right, it's from Carol Guy, but it's the Rose Awesome folder. Okay, I was going to say, because Rose... Right, I was going to say Rose Awesome Carol Guy is one hell of a name. I mean, that is pretty awesome. She's used the Harmony Water Reactive to create that gorgeous background, which is lovely. Are we going to have to call her Rose Awesome Carol Guy now forever? Sonia, snooze you lose you. Oh, Sonia sent this one in. I love this one. Really beautiful. Did we have this in the earlier show? We had something very similar in the earlier show, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that is, yeah, we've had it in the past and it's a gorgeous folder to use. That looks lovely. I'd be really interested how that's done. It looks like it's had a sort of a background wash. Looks lovely. It could also just be white card with silver gilding wax on it. Looks lovely.
Oh, let us know, Sonia, in the comments.
Yes.
Vera's been in touch as well and got a lovely photo project. I love these ones.
Oh, how nice is that? I'm actually using a folder in the middle that could be very similar to that one. So yeah, that's amazing. I love that. That photo is gorgeous.
Really lovely vintage photo. Now, tomorrow, Debbie, you and I are going to be doing a nativity masterclass, aren't we? And Jennifer's been getting creative already with that collection. I love this one.
Oh, that's so pretty, isn't it? Yeah. Having a folder like that does all the work for you in the backgrounds. I mean, it's nice to have something simple, but then when you put your own touch of colours on there and your own style of cards, it really brings it to life. So that's a great job, Jennifer.
Absolutely awesome. Keep getting your images into us. We love seeing them. We really, really do. I want to take you again back through these the 3D embossing folders that we've got for you on the show. We've got a few, there's a collection of 4 in here, which is awesome. So you've got Country Garden, which is that one. And that gives you this gorgeous look and a feel that you've got just there. The next one we've got for you is the English Rose. And the English Rose creates this gorgeous delicate frame almost, which I think is beautiful. You've then got as well the ornate lace, and the ornate lace is creating this for you. There's a lot of emboss on the ornate lace. It's a very, very deep emboss. And then finally as well, you've got the Regency swirls in that collection there too. So you've got 4 different embossing folders in there for you for £20.97, and they are our 3D embossing folders. Now I know you covered it earlier, Debbie, but for anyone that has just joined us, what is the difference between a regular embossing folder and our 3D embossing folders that we have here at Crafts Companion?
Yeah, absolutely. So a regular embossing folder, which is classed as a 2D embossing folder, it literally goes up, goes across and comes down. So it really is just a raised level. So it's one emboss, one raised amount, and and that's what it is, which looks beautiful. But why not then go to that next level of having a 3D emboss folder, which is a sculptured effect, which means you get different levels. You get that really base level where you get sort of that detail in the background. Then you get another level, and then you get a third level. So 3D embossing folders just pop out the page to you, so they look more effective. And when you do different techniques with them, especially with your ink pads, and I'm going to show you that now. So I'm just checking on what it was called. Is it the it's called the English Rose. I thought it had a frame in the name, but it's the English Rose. But what's nice about this one is it actually has a space here that you can put something in, and I really like that with an embossing folder. So with a 3D embossing folder, what we do need as a platform is our plastic shim. We want our magnetic shim. We're going to place our folder with our card in, and then our top plate. So you can always watch back, but if not, there is a booklet with the Gemini and it will show you exactly how to do them.
Really busy on these embossing folders. £20.97, £29.85 if you want to grab them. Loads of questions coming in. Maybe Saturday is the day of questions. That's what it is there, because we had so many in the show. Gina says, are there other colours of gilding waxes other than gold and silver? Yes, I believe there is. Now, is there a platinum and a bronze? Could be right.
There's not a platinum. There is a Renaissance gold, which is like a bronze, and there is also a silver, which is probably what the platinum, not what you're thinking of. Yeah, so there's just, and then it's all golds. There's king gold, there's antique gold, there's king gold, antique gold. Renaissance is the Renaissance gold is what I class as the bronzy one. So there's a few different ones, but that's in the Pebeo gilding waxes. That's Empire gold. That's the one I'd forgotten about. So thank you, Laura.
Awesome.
So what I've got here, Joe, is we've got our 2 lots of greens. So I'm using now the greens aren't in the collection, but you can buy these. But I want to show you how the different types of greens you can use. So I'm just going to find a piece of, can't find anything. I'll use this piece of card I used earlier, just because I'm running out of my little pads. So I just want to take off the colour. This would actually make an awesome, I'm going to bring it in so you can see it, would make an awesome background. Because what you could do is spritz it with water afterwards.
Oh yeah, great idea.
Yeah, so There we go. So I'm not too worried because I am going to just pop it into our green. So we're just going to go round and do that green on here. So I'm using green because obviously it's a garden theme, and all these leaves, I want to just bring in the green design of them.
Awesome. If you want that blending tool, you can get it with the refills and the craft mat as well. The craft mat's a great idea if you don't have a dedicated craft space. You want to have something to give you the sort of the same effectiveness as a glass mat, but you need to be able to roll it up and put it away. That craft mat's great for that. You do all your sort of pop all your paste and your inks and all those different things on there as well. Still incredibly busy on the water reactive ink pads as we come towards the end of the show. They really are the star of the show, I think, because I think the reason you've loved them so much is because we've got all of those fabulous colours back in stock for you. 13 awesome colours, and the pigments are busy too. I know that. Are they your favourites, the pigments, Debbie? Which one? I know you have a lot of favourites. You won't mind me saying that.
Not at all,
but when
no.
I think about you, I think about pigment ink pads.
Yeah, they are my favourite. And you know what? People say we shouldn't have favourites, and I don't see why we can't have favourites, because everyone has favourites in things. It doesn't mean I don't love any of the other any of the other ink pads, because I love them all. But the pigment ones, if someone was to tell me, Debbie, I want you to go on and do some techniques and show people how to use any of the ink pads, which ones do you want to use? I would definitely use the pigment ink pads. They are just the best for me. I get the most out of them personally for myself. But when I'm doing other things, so like stamping, I get amazing results out of quick drying. And when I want to do my watercolour backgrounds, I get amazing results from the water reactive. So I guess what I'm saying is just buy them all.
Absolutely.
You know, so,
There's definitely a place for all of them. Snooze Lugiol Sonia's been back in touch, Debbie. She says, Joe and Debbie, thank you so much for an awesome compliment. I used the blue water reactive ink first, then went over the top with silver wax to highlight the details. So thank you again.
Oh, that's, yes, I wasn't far off. So it looks beautiful. So what I'm going to do now, I'm using the water reactive. Now, this is what I love about them, is you can switch what you're doing. I've used my greens to blend this background. I'm then going to paint my roses. So I'm just going to go in with a wet brush into this ink. So we're making every ink pad into a watercolour. So that's quite amazing. So depending on what you want to do, you can then become that artist who's going to add all that extra detail because you've got these colours to use.
Awesome. So really versatile. If you don't have, you know, a big stash of our colouring products, our Spectrum products, you know, like the aqua pens or anything like that, then these would be a great stopgap for you, which I think is awesome. It's all about getting the most amount of craftability out of all the products we bring you, Debbie, isn't it? I think, and that's one of the things that Crafters Companion is so good at. You know, because it is designed by crafters for crafters, there's always a few extra facets to the way in which you can use our products.
I couldn't agree more, Joe. I think gone are the days now where us as crafters just used to have everything that come out, because we have so much in our stash now. We have to be a bit more savvy with what we want, because we don't want dyes that are all the same. We want things that are going to really encourage us to do different things in our crafting. And Crafters Companion is amazing at that. Our design team, our product development team are truly the best I've ever worked with, because they come out with designs that they know are going to work so well with everything else. So everything that they do is going to complement whatever else that you've got in your stash, and that's really important. It's important to find your crafting abilities, but you don't want it to be too hard, but you also do want a little bit of a you know, you want to be able to do something, a bit of a challenge. That's the word I was trying to think of. Yeah, you want to have a little bit of a challenge as well. But how
Beautiful. That looks
effective.
gorgeous.
It does look so lovely, doesn't it? And it's just taking that time. So if you're someone that just wants to do a quick emboss, make a card, put a sentiment stamp in the middle, you've got a card and you can send that to someone straight away. But if you like to have a little play and you want to do a bit more, use them as your ink pads, and you'll be able to, use your ink pads as a painting platform, and you'll be able to just do the most fun techniques. And this is so therapeutic. It's just another form of colouring, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and gives you so many different options. And the thing is, you've got all those colours. You know, you might have the aqua markers, you might have a whole host of different colours, but those colours are not the colours that you're going to have in the water reactive ink pad. So it means that the two complement each other, which is awesome. Emma Thrower on Facebook says, amazing show. Nice to see Debbie and Joe. She's going to buy a Gemini machine and get some other things as well.
Oh,
it's a treat yourself kind of Saturday today.
It certainly is. It's a question and answer Saturday, a treat yourself Saturday.
It is.
Yeah,
my it's turned into a bit of a treat yourself September for me, really. I keep I just keep thinking, oh, well, I'll just get that, and I'll just get this, and I'll just get that. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're just all treating ourselves through September.
So just bringing this finished one in, Joe, and it looks amazing. And we've just put a hello in the middle, kept it really simple, matte and layered. I've then just added a little bit of gilding wax on the ends of the petals, and it's just a really nice way, again, of how you can use your gilding waxes.
It is indeed a really beautiful way of using them, and again, they're all going to work so well together with your embossing folders, which is absolutely awesome. So the 3D embossing folders are available for you, 4-piece collection, $20.97 or $29.85. I'll just quickly whiz you through the ones that you're getting. So you're going to get Country Garden, which gives you this effect that you can see just here, which is awesome. You've then also got as well English Rose, and English Rose is going to give you this. It's such an incredibly deep emboss that you get on all of these 3D folders. You've got the Ornate Lace as well, which is awesome, and then you've also got the Regency Swirls in there as well. So they are the 4 designs that you're going to get included in this collection right here. £20.97 or $29.85 if you want to get your hands on those. Right, we're going to go back to Alison. Alison, how are you getting on?
Yeah.
You're good. Have you enjoyed the show? How's it been being on the Craft House?
It's a bit different.
I hope you've been inspired. Are you feeling inspired after the show?
Yes. I like the demonstrations. Very good.
Awesome. So what does the rest of your weekend look like then, Alison?
Watching Crafters TV, and most probably doing a few more cards.
Sounds like a pretty fantastic weekend to me. Make sure you send us some pictures in, won't you, when you've done your cards, and we can share them with everyone. Well, Alison, from myself and from Debbie and from everyone else here at Crafters TV, it was an absolute pleasure to have you on the show with us today. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you in the comments very soon.
Okay, thank you very much.
Take care, Alison. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Pleasure to have Alison with us on the show. Now remember, if you want to be on the Craft House, you can. All you need to do is drop us an email. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is where you need to send those emails into. We're always after people to come and join us, so pop us an email, pop Craft House in the subject line, and we will do our best to get you on a show real soon. Right, let's dive back in and have a look at some of the great stuff you've seen in this show that you've loved. Starting off with the Sarah Signature embossing folder 5-piece collection that we've got just here. £17.97 these, or $23.93 is your price. You get 5, 2 from Crafty Fun, 2 from Rose Gold, and 1 from Vintage Lace. An awesome price when you consider that is Sarah's Signature that you're getting there. Now, we do have some smaller embossing folders for you available on the show as well. These have been super busy. These are just to pop them in your basket kind of price, aren't they? What you've got here is 6 of them, $7.96 or $11.80 there for those. Next up, we've got the aqua tints for you. These are on a buy one, get one half price. So $12.99 to get one, or it would be, how much would it be? $19.50 to get 2. So make sure you buy them in 2s. In the US, you'd be looking at $19.95 for 1, but just under $30 for 2, which is awesome. Go through, some of your all-time favorite colors are in there. Quite low in stock, however, in the perfect pastels there in that one. We've got these sparkle pens for you available on the show. Now these are awesome because you are getting 3 different sets within here, which is awesome. So you're going to get Coastal Cottage, you're also going to get Spring Summer, and you're going to get Autumn Winter as well. All 3 of them, $49.98 or $65.90. You're actually paying for 2, but we're sending you 3 there, which is awesome. Harmony pigment ink pads coming up next for you. £50 or $70 to grab these. Club Inspire Platinum members can get these £40 or $56 on those ones. Really busy now on that as we come towards the end of the show. And that pigment, which is great for the heat embossing, gives you really great coverage on a whole host of different card stocks and crafting mediums. Once you've gone for all of your ink pads, you're going to need somewhere awesome to store them, and we've got the ink pad storage trays available for you on the show. It's a buy one get one free. You normally get 6 pieces, you get 12 in this combo, which is enough to store 36 ink pads. So if you're going for all the pigments and the water reactives, you've got enough there to store them, which is awesome. Now, those little mini folders have been really busy, Debbie, in this show. Do you have a few examples there of how we might use them?
Yeah, we only have a few, and I'm really sorry. They get shipped about, so we've managed to get a few of them. But this one's a great one because it shows that butterfly one, and it shows it in 3 different ways to do it. So again, if you wanted to use your black card and your gilding wax, I mean, look how pretty that looks. And then your mirror card, your shiny mirror card, and then your matte mirror. In fact, no, it's not your matte. That's white card that's been ombreed with the pigment ink, not the pigment inks, the Harmony water reactive ink pads, and then a little bit of gilding wax put on top. So they look really lovely. Now, the nice thing about small embossing folders is you can still make a big impact with a background. So there's 3 different ones that have been embossed to make this background, and that white on white looks absolutely beautiful. And then we've got one here using the 2 panels at the side, just really pretty, that look lovely. And these have just been glittered on top, and it just looks really effective. I think sometimes we can think that mini embossing folders don't do much of the work, but actually they create a huge amount of space for you to decorate there, and just looks lovely. I mean, that butterfly one is gorgeous, and it just really makes the top of that card.
Yeah, it looks absolutely gorgeous. And the great thing is, I mean, you talk about doing whole embossed backgrounds, which of course you can do, but you can just add interest with an embossed panel or an embossed section, or just add a little bit to part of your project. So they are wonderful for allowing you to do that. You get 6 of them there for $7.96. I mean, it really is a no-brainer price, that one, or $11.80 if you're in the US. The ink pads continue to be busy all the way through the show, and I think of the 2, it's the water reactives that have been your favourite in this show. Now, what you're getting in here is you are getting 13 fabulous colours. We've just had a restock on our water reactives, which is why we're able to offer you such a great vast array of colours. And in here you're going to get Chinese red, honey pot, lemon tonic, fuchsia, pink tulip, noir black, lagoon, oasis, parakeet, sandstorm, ocean blue, baby blue, and also the green topaz as well. They're all coming included for you, which is awesome. Loads of different ways to use these. As I said earlier, you can use your Club Inspire discount with these too if you want to. Platinum members would get £10 off of this, or $14. Dollars? I've just invented a new currency there. It sounds $14, of course, is what you'd get off of those as a platinum member in the US, which is awesome. Remember, there's still loads to come this weekend here on Crafters TV. Myself and Debbie are back again for a whole day of shows tomorrow. We have a nativity masterclass for you in the morning, or for the first show. So that's 1 p.m. in the UK, 8 a.m. on the East Coast, 5 a.m. on the West Coast. And then Second Chance Sunday. Second Chance Sunday is that one show of the week where we bring you all the highlights from the last week or so, which is awesome. That'll be at 4 p.m. in the UK, 11 a.m. if you're on the East Coast, or 8 a.m. if you are on the West Coast. So it's going to be another packed day tomorrow. And then a brand new week starts with you on Monday, when Ben will be back for kicking off a whole new week here on Crafters TV. There's absolutely loads of stuff coming up next week, so it's going to be really fun and exciting for you as well. Loads of questions still coming in. A lot of people still talking about the cut and emboss folder as well, Debbie, and all the different ways in which you can use those. I see you've got a few to hand over there.
Yeah, so I thought I'd pick out some of my favourites and ones that you haven't seen for this last couple of hours, because I really love an embossing folder that is that is understated. It is gorgeous, this love one. Can you see the little, these are like banners in the back. They've just been highlighted with a little bit of glitter, but the love is a love heart, and it just looks really beautiful. And then what about going for one that's a friend Friends one. I mean, look how beautiful that looks. Using those ink pads to just create a really lovely design. This one also looks a little bit unicorny, isn't it? Like for some reason. I think maybe this bit in the middle looks like the horn, doesn't it? Especially with the Friends. So it's got a really nice feel about that. And then that congrats one. I think it's just a really lovely one, especially for anything. I mean, this could be passing your driving exam, passing your exams, anything to congratulate someone. Really lovely. And then we've got the birthday one. Then we've got the home one, which I showed you earlier, and I had to show you again because this is my favourite one. Absolutely love that. And then the last one that we've got here is the thanks, which just looks really beautiful. And then I just want to show you just a few more samples if you wanted to go for the gilding wax, because the gilding wax really is something that every crafter needs. And if I could have a 6 item that I could have with me, if they were the 6 items, I would say it would be that gilding wax. I mean, look at the tone that you get on there. If you do home decor for your photo frames, it's going to work well. You might have those little wooden candle holders. You're going to be able to put your gilding wax on them as well as all your projects. And make sure you polish it up really well, because look at the shine on that. When you put that on, then polish it up with a cloth, you're going to get that ultra shine. And then the one we actually did in the show, so if you are just tuning in, if you go back to watch the show, you'll be able to see that we embossed this black piece of card. I mean, literally was just a black piece of card. We've embossed it with that beautiful country garden. I mean, that is one of the nicest embossing folders, and created just this really gorgeous design using 3 different colours of gold on there. So definitely worth popping the gilding wax in your basket.
Awesome. We've got gilding wax for you on the show as well. If you want the antique gold, you can grab it now with a 25% saving. The details are there on the screen right now for you, so do go grab those. We've had some more images coming in as well, which we always love it when you send us the things that you've been making. Karen Mills has sent us in a picture. That is that gorgeous Regency Swirls embossing folder I believe she's used there. That is awesome. Teresa has been using one of the mini ones along the side of her project there as well. So as we said, you know, you can add a little bit of interest, add a bit of texture in different places. You don't need to use a whole embossed background if you don't want to. Laurie's also sent us in something she's been making with the cut and emboss folders that we've got on the show today as well. Those are absolutely glorious there. One more question for you, Debbie, before the end of the show. Sonia says, Joe, please can you ask Debbie, can you use drawing gum over the top of Illustrator pens without messing with the colour underneath?
Absolutely, yes. I haven't used drawing gum for ages. I've forgotten all about it, but it's an amazing substance and brilliant. Yes, it won't affect any of your work. So yeah, apply away and rub it off when you want to use something else. It's great, and I'm assuming what she wants to do is colour something in, then mask that off with the drawing gum, and then colour over the top with something watercoloured, so. And then you can just rub it off. Yeah, it'd be perfect, and it will not interfere with anything that you've drawn.
Awesome. Well, I hope that answers your question, Sonia. That will work absolutely perfectly. As I said, tomorrow there's a whole new day of shows coming up, which will be awesome. Myself and Debbie with you twice, which is fantastic. So make sure you join us for that, for Masterclass and for Second Chance Sunday as well. Remember, if you want to appear on the Craft House, you can drop us an email to studio@craftscompanion.co.uk, studio@craftscompanion.co.uk. Pop Craft House in the subject line, and someone will get back to you. Tell us a bit about yourself as well. What sort of crafting are you into? What are the products that you love? Because obviously we want to get you on when we've got something on that we know that you're going to absolutely love and adore, and you've got loads of things that you're going to want to share and show us as well, which is awesome, which is absolutely fantastic. Right, it's been an awesome show. Thanks very much to Debbie. Debbie, it's been a pleasure. I look forward to us being together again all day tomorrow.
I know, it's going to be great, Joe. So I'm up for the week actually, so I'm going to be potting around behind the scenes. We've got HSN this week. I'm going to be here right through, and then you've got a full weekend of me next weekend as well. So yeah, it's going to be great. Me and Joe are going to go and have some fun. He's cooking me dinner now tonight, so
I am
it's
indeed.
all good.
Right, yes, we'll see you back here for a brand new Dave show tomorrow. Have yourself a great day if you're across in the US. Enjoy your evening if you're here in the UK, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.